Oh, hello. I am criscrosaplesos, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at some more Tik-Toks. Hopefully less crazy conspiracy theories and more just pure entertainment. I might be looking up some things to do some fact-checking just in case. Who's just in case? So get ready for that. I'll try and bring the web browser into view so you guys can see what I'm searching for as well. So let's get right into it. Why sacrifice babies? All right, here we go. Here's the Hillary Clinton pizzeria conspiracy.
Because one of the things I asked him is, I said, I get it, but I don't get it. The children. You got to, I have such a problem with this. You got to explain this one to me. And he said, well, first of all, you're looking at it the wrong way. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, they don't define children the way you do. They don't define the world the way you do. The choices that you face are not their choices, right?
That makes sense.
They look at it completely differently. And
most people look
I
at things
said,
completely
well, okay,
differently.
so how do they look at it? And he said, for them, everything is defined by their one fundamental, all-consuming purpose. I said, which is what? He said, to defeat God, right? Because this is the moment. I mean, for them, it's about the real God. The true gods are them and Satan. Yeah. Right?
Okay, so let me get this straight. Whoever they are, she hasn't explained who they are. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the Hollywood elite, Hillary Clinton, and or the lizard people. The lizard people. So they eat babies because they want to destroy God, but they view themselves as the gods? They are the gods? So they eat babies to destroy themselves? That's literally what she just said, and that makes zero sense. So good job. Saying something really stupid, you somehow made yourself sound more stupid. Now that's actually the dumbest of these conspiracy theories I've heard. Okay, it's a meteor.
That's unreal, eh?
It's a meteor. Who's this guy?
At first, it looked like a comet just based on the velocity, but looking at how brightly lit it was, like, I don't know. Tell me what y'all think.
Yeah, comets. That's not the way comets work, my guy. Comets are always stationary in the sky. You can't tell their velocity by looking at them because they look stationary in the sky. This is a meteor that is burning up very brightly in the atmosphere. It is made of some sort of chemical or metal that when it burns bluish or greenish. And then that shining through the nighttime clouds kind of emphasizes that. That's all this is. This is a meteor.
That's unreal.
That turns into a meteorite once it hits the ground. Again, a non-spiracy.
There's a UFO in front of us. I know you guys are gonna clown me and say, what the fuck? We've been watching this thing in the sky for literally 10 minutes and it hasn't moved. It's not a helicopter and it's not a plane. I can guarantee you. We sat at a gas station for 5 minutes watching it, and it's sitting there just hovering for the last 10 minutes. So we're gonna try to drive.
There's
like
two
closer
lights
to it.
there. I wonder if one of those two lights is.
It's just sitting there in the sky.
Something.
Look at that. I don't
can't
care
see
what
anything.
you guys
All you see is two lights. Like, just because two lights are in the sky and they're hovering doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean it's a UFO. Doesn't mean it's a UAP. Doesn't mean it's aliens. It's just two lights in the sky. For all you know, it's nighttime and there could be like a blimp floating up there. I mean, you can't see anything but two lights. Why does your brain immediately go to UFO, to aliens and stuff? Occam's razor, people. Use it.
Oh, this is fake or whatnot. I cannot edit for my life. Here's my fucking truck. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I see it.
Mirror. Look at that.
It doesn't mean anything.
And it's not
Two
moving.
lights in the sky.
Look at that shit. you say it's on a mountain or something, this is the closest mountain to us, and look at it.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the mountain. You can clearly see it's in the air.
This has now been 15 minutes of it sitting there hovering. Look, that's a plane. You can see it blinking.
Okay, let's get something out of the way right off the bat here. There are things called drones that have lights on them and they can sit and hover for longer than just 15 minutes. Why do you have to immediately go to the rarest, probably the most rare option when you see two lights floating in the sky? This is the problem with conspiracy theorists and with people that believe in this kind of stuff so vehemently, is that you don't, because you are believing in it prior to seeing it, when you see something like that, your brain immediately goes there instead of stopping and thinking and going, okay, what could it be that's a little bit more realistic? And let's think about this. It's a fucking drone. If it was a UAP or a UFO or something like that, and they were there for 15 minutes and they didn't see like fighter jets, like military planes flying around the place, then it wasn't a UFO. It wasn't UAP. Get over yourselves. Celebrities being asked about the Illuminati.
People always have this conspiracy. Now that I'm famous, and people be saying like, "Oh, you're in the Illuminati." Look,
You saw your videos,
you
right?
have a
You have videos
triangle.
online, like Cardi B. Like,
And it's like, bro, do you know that if I don't work, I could go broke? Do you know if I do or say the wrong thing out of my mouth,
you're out of here.
I'm out of here.
I do find that interesting, but I always tend to lean more towards the thinking that, one, this is a celebrity, somebody who is in the spotlight, somebody who loves being in the spotlight, and somebody who loves attention. If I was in that position and I was asked about the Illuminati, yeah, I wouldn't just say, yeah, I'm in the Illuminati. I would kind of say something intentionally coy, intentionally like dodging around the subject to make it seem, deeper than it actually is, to get more eyes on me, which is exactly what I would want. You can't trust a thing that celebrities say, unfortunately, because there's always that ulterior motive to just get more clicks, get more views, get more sales. You know what I mean? Take anything that a celebrity says with a big grain of salt. Moon mandala effect. People who think it's normal, originally from this universe. People who find it spooky. Mandala effect from the universe. Transition, we're already dead. What? All right, let's see what. Let's not judge before we watch it.
Mandela effect. Some people say the crescent moon has only been on the left or right side of the moon. Now a lot of people are saying that it has always been on bottom or top.
That is just the direction. That's just the direction that the sun is compared to where they are on the planet. What we're looking at right now, somebody on a more northern or a more southern part of that part of the world is going to see the moon at a different angle. It's going to look more to the left or more to the right. This is stupid. This is just pure ignorance. They don't understand the moon and the moon phases and the way the moon interacts with the light of the sun. This is just dumb.
To me, I know it's a photograph, but it just doesn't look normal. It looks too illuminated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you zoom up, like, I don't know, it just doesn't look normal, man. But tell me.
Yeah, that is completely normal. Somebody is probably using a telescope and looking at that. And I don't think you understand exactly how bright and white and gray the surface of the moon is compared to the other side that's not illuminated by the sun right there. That looks perfectly normal to anybody who has trained eyes and has done lunar photography before, like I have done. That's nothing out of the ordinary. And this could just be an edited video. It's very easy to punch up the saturation on a picture and make it look like this,
Takeoff is Aaron Dotson. And he's very well. He's okay.
Okay. These are the conspiracies that I always think are fucking hilarious, is that somebody that's dead isn't actually dead. You know, Hitler didn't actually die. Elvis is still alive. You know, these kind of conspiracy theories have been going on for a long, long time. And this is no different, you know. I think one of the ones that was around when I was growing up in the 90s was Jean-Benet Ramsey was alive and well, just living with Michael Jackson or some shit like that. And shit, even that conspiracy was still a thing. Right when like Katy Perry got famous, because everybody, that was a conspiracy theory, is that Katy Perry was actually Jean-Benet Ramsey.
So Takeoff faked his death.
Yeah.
Faked his death? Why?
Okay. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Hell no.
Can you show some evidence?
It looks like the same exact person. So make sure you guys share this video.
No, it doesn't.
This has to be like the most obvious one out of all of my videos.
You know, here's the thing. The human face, because of its dimensions, can only have so many different shapes. And there are billions of people on this planet. You are going to have people that look similar, if not exactly the same. And it's just a coincidence that these two both happen to be musicians and both, well, rapists, whatever. They both are in the same field, the same career field, and they look similar. You know what I mean? That's just a fucking coincidence. It doesn't mean that one of them faked their death and is now the other one. Like, if you're going to make a claim, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Show me some evidence of that. You can't just show me side-by-side pictures of them and say, look, because that's not evidence. That's just too at face value, pardon the pun, it's just two similar-looking people. That's it. That is literally it. That is what we are looking at, is two pictures of people that look similar. And you're jumping through mental hoops, jumping to a conclusion that because they look the same and they're both rappers, and one of them died, that he must have faked his death and is now this other one. Come on. Use your fucking brains. Like, is your life so boring that you have to, like, make this shit up or believe in this and spread it around? Who's the dumbass who did this? What's his name? The dribbler backflip 80. What the?
And now you know who Werner von Braun is?
Yes.
Werner von Braun was Hitler's right-hand man. He was his rocket scientist, and after
he was not Hitler's right-hand man. He was a scientist for the Nazi regime, a nuclear scientist for the Nazi regime. He was not Hitler's right-hand man. That's hyperbole.
World War II, the United States took about 1,200 Nazi scientists, including Operation Paperclip. They took all these Nazi scientists, and they took one.
This isn't a conspiracy theory at all. This is just fact. This is fact that's been known since the 1950s, 1940s, and 1950s. Like, this is nothing new.
Von Braun, and he fucking was the head of NASA. He's the head of NASA. Yeah, he directed all 6 moon missions. And then check this out: when Werner von Braun,
I don't think that's true. Who directed the Apollo mission at NASA? Eugene Gene Krenz served as the flight director for many Apollo missions, including Apollo 11, 13, 15, and 17, and was NASA's second chief flight director. Von Braun was not a head of NASA at any point in time. That's just false. He was the director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and later became NASA's Deputy Associate Administrator for Planning. But he was not the head of NASA. There you go. So, let's just rewatch this and watch him blatantly lie or blatantly give misinformation or unintentionally lie because he's just dumb. and has never looked it up for himself. He read a tweet.
And now you know who Werner von Braun is?
Yes.
Werner von Braun was Hitler's right-hand man. He was his rocket scientist.
No, he wasn't.
And after World War II, the United States took about 1,200 Nazi scientists, including Operation Paperclip. They took all these Nazi scientists, and they took Werner von Braun, and he fucking was the head of NASA.
No, he was not the head of NASA. Whoever this person is does not know what they're talking about.
He's the head of NASA.
Yeah,
He
people don't realize that.
directed all 6 moon missions. And
He directed all 6 moon missions. No, he didn't. We just looked at who directed the moon missions. It was a guy named Eugene. So this is just flat out bullshit.
then check this out. When Werner von Braun died, put up Werner von Braun's tombstone.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Werner von Braun. What does it say? Psalm what? 19:1.
19:1.
Watch, and then go read what that is. This is coming from the dude who faked 6 moon missions. Look at that.
Okay. Before I watch any more of this absolute monstrosity of a dumb individual, we went to the moon. We absolutely went to the moon. If you have a strong enough telescope, you can zoom in and see the footprints of the astronauts. If you have a strong enough telescope, you can zoom in and look at the mirrors that we reflect lasers on to get precise distances between the Earth and the moon. We have been to the moon. We have been there multiple times, and we're probably going back very soon. The thought that we never went to the moon or faked the moon landings is absolutely ludicrous. All you have to do is look. Get a telescope and look. You can see their footprints, for crying out loud. Ugh. Okay, moving on.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sueth.
The firmament.
The firmament
sueth his handiwork. Now the firmament, that's the dome. That's what.
Oh my God. No, that's the firmament used in the Bible does not refer to the dome of a flat Earth. Come on.
Separates the heavens from earth, or the waters from above and the waters from below. That's the firmament. That's the dome. That's when flat earthers believe in a dome. They're actually talking about the firmament.
Flat Earth,
dude.
That was on War.
Flat Earth. People who believe in the flat Earth are nothing short of shills trying to get clicks, or just completely ignorant to science. It was proven thousands of years ago that the Earth is a sphere. We know it's a sphere. We knew measurements of the sphere 2,000 years ago. We've known for a very long time that the Earth is round. There is no doubt in an intelligent person's mind that we live on a sphere. The flat Earth is the most ludicrous idea that has ever existed, I think, in my opinion.
Werner von Braun's tombstone. Get the fuck out of here, right? Look at that.
Dude. Shut up.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork.
So he put a Bible verse on his tombstone. That could mean anything. We without von Braun sitting here and telling us why he put that on there, we're just taking our own interpretation of why he put that there and adding our own ideas onto it. That's all this person is doing.
That's what Werner von Braun put on his tombstone? Get the fuck out of here. That's a deathbed confessional right there.
Only somebody who is so far gone in their mind and so set in stone in what they think is right is able to make that kind of mental leap. It's a Bible verse on somebody's tombstone, and you think because it's von Braun and because you, a priori, you think he faked the moon missions, which is false. You think he was the head of NASA, which isn't true. You think he directed the Apollo missions, which isn't true. So you're basing your false information on false information and then spreading it very vehemently here as if it's truth. This shit annoys the fucking piss out of me.
That's a dead... The guy who faked 6 moon missions.
Dude.
Put that shit on his tombstone.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can't believe he put it on his tombstone. Well, I'll tell you to go read a book if you even knew how to read.